Welcome to this practice. This is a Kripalu gentle to moderate class, and with every class that I hold, I'm always very aware of making sure that every one of my students understands that this is about them. So listen to your body, do what feels right for you. If at any point you want to do something different, please do that. And pick up again where you left off. So this evening or this morning or this afternoon, whatever time you happen to be practicing, really draw yourself to what it is that you're needing, what it is that your body is wanting, what it is that it's speaking to you, whether physically or on a heart level or a mental level, whatever level it is. What drew you to be on your mat? What drew you to take this parcel of your day to take care of yourself? So I invite you to close your eyes and play with that question. Why are you here? Why have you enrolled your mat, and wherever you are, in your home or in your living room or in your kitchen, wherever you happen to be, wherever you carve space for yourself, can you make it sacred space? A little oasis, a little bubble away from whatever's going on in the world. So dedicate this practice to you. And along with that, dedications are not exclusive to one person necessarily. Maybe there's someone else in your life that you want to dedicate this practice to as well. A loved one, someone that may be on the planet, or maybe someone that no longer is. Bring them into your practice. Sending them loving, caring, wonderful thoughts. Same way that you send loving, wonderful thoughts to you. Allow your breath to carry that flood of ideas and thoughts about you and the wonderful person that you are and those that you may be dedicating this to as well. Breathe them into your body and then slowly release them out into the space around you. Let that breath deepen, so the inhalation begins a little bit lower down in your body, a little deeper in your body. And the exhalation perhaps has a little sound. Releasing whatever tension may be floating around in your shoulders, maybe still holding on in your hands. Or perhaps your jaw that is a little more tight than it needs to be. And along with the dedication that you're making for this practice, maybe there's an intention. An intention that you have, a little more specifically maybe for your body, part of your body that needs a little more care, a little more patience, a little more compassion. So formulating your intention with all that in mind. And then sharing in the welcoming sound of breathing in. Welcome. Yeah, nice to see you here. And see you there too. So let's begin with our shoulders. One of my favorite places to start is just to really acknowledge the things that we place on our shoulders, and can we let them go. The weight of your day, the weight of your week, of your month, the weight of life. And decide whether you want to come up and back or come up and forward. Maybe alternate. Maybe a little bit of a swimming butterfly stroke. reverse of that. And then take up a little more space. The arms go a little further. Yeah. Relax the jaw. Once again, you'll hear me refer again and again to the jaw. It's an area of our body that, for so many of us, tends to tighten up really quickly. And then the arms continue up into sun breath. So inhaling, shoulder height. Exhale, rotate. Inhale up. Exhale, shoulder height. Feel that rotation. And then down. Yeah. Breathing in. If you happen to be practicing in a space that doesn't have a lot of room, you may find that as you move your arms, just a little bit of turn, just to give yourself a little more space. Come on down and then back up the same way to return the other way. So just play around with your space. Yeah. Yeah, if there's yawns or sighs, let them happen. Nice. One more time. Breathing in. At your own pace. Beautiful. There we go. And then a little variation. So inhale, just to shoulder height, and exhale, turning over to one side. You decide which side. Inhale up, and then exhale to the other side. So now we're adding a little twist, warming up our spine, lowering the head, creating space in the side of the neck. Inhale up to neutral. Exhale, go as low as you want. Sweep the arms up, and to the other side. And next time we move to the right, to the one side, let just the one hand come down. The other one slips behind the waist. And we're accessing the shoulder as if the collarbone was made out of elastic. So slowly open it back, exhaling to access the stretch. And then exhale, roll, or inhale, and exhale, roll the shoulder forward. So inhale to the midpoint, and exhale to the stretch. Inhale, and exhale. The supporting hand has or the supporting arm has a bit of a bend in the elbow. Yeah. Go at your own pace. Let the rib cage flare, open up, and then come down. And when you're ready, release. Shake it out. And go right over to the other side. Hand eases down. Other arm behind. Notice the collarbone and the ribs. And then exhale to the lower side. Inhale to the middle, the center point. Exhale to the other. In and out. And if at any point you want to stay with something a little longer than what I am offering, then please go at your own pace. Find a rhythm that speaks to you. Nice. And then ease and gradually back up. Shake it out. Yeah. Let's find our way onto our back. And as you find your way onto your back, place the feet wherever you like. They could be a little wider than your hips. They could be a little further forward, whatever feels appropriate. We're going to move into pelvic tilts. So sometimes I find it helpful to actually use my hands here. So on the inhalation, I lift the waist off the floor, and I'm literally tilting the upper part of my pelvis up and forward. And then exhale, tilt it back, so you're drawing the waist into the mat and lifting the tailbone. Inhale, lifting the waist. The hips stay on the floor the whole time. Exhale. Relaxing the shoulders, and of course relax the jaw. Breathing in, breathing out. And you may find that in this movement of the pelvis, you'll actually see the head, or feel the head move as well. Because everything is connected, of course. So breathing in and breathing out. Notice how the head responds to that. It's in no particular pattern. For some of us, as we inhale and press the
tailbone down, we may find that the chin comes in, and for others that would be the opposite. So just see what naturally happens. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let the left leg remain on the mat, either bent or straight. And just using the right hand, bring that hand either to the knee or underneath the knee. And as we breathe out, the thigh is drawn towards the belly. As we inhale, it is guided away with the help of the hand. And either stay with a linear pattern or turn it more into an ellipse or an oval. So way off towards the right shoulder. And then maybe down towards the left knee. And notice the rotation, the movement in that hip joint, where the head of the femur, the head of the thigh, moves in the hip joint. Yeah. And then release, shaking it out, let it go. And then the other side. Draw in the left knee. And you may choose to straighten the leg that's on the mat, or keep it bent. And just using the left hand, start to slowly circle the knee. Breathing in. As the leg is guided away, breathe out as it comes towards you. Lower leg bent or straight. Relax the shoulders. The other arm is completely relaxed by your side. Yeah, good. And then release and come into a nice long stretch, like a giant pencil. And if the shoulders don't like this for whatever reason, you can do this with the arms by your sides, or just reach up with one arm, depending on what your shoulder is telling you. Either press into the heels or point the toes. Breathe in, and on the exhalation, slide the feet over to the right side. So the right foot first, followed by the left. And then ease the upper body also to the right side. So again, the arms can be up or by your sides, or one is up, or the other one is up. What feels appropriate. And breathe. Notice the space along that outer side, that crescent moon pattern that we're creating. As an option, you can take the outer leg, in this case it's the left, and place that left ankle on top of the right, just offering a little more space along the left side. The head can stay with the face upward, or maybe even roll the head to the right, as if your right ear wanted to hear what's going on the floor. Yeah. And when you're ready, feel the body gradually slide back, the upper body, the legs. And before we go to the other side, just a little hug. Bring the knees to the body. Give yourself a little hug. Appreciating your legs for everything they do for you. And slowly lengthen out once again. Reach the legs away. Let the arms come back. Soften the jaw. Arms however they want to be. Slide the left leg over to the left side, followed by the right, and then the upper body also to the left side. And you may notice that one side is a little different from the other, more sensation or less. You point the toes or keep the feet more relaxed. And maybe take that outer leg, outer ankle, and cross it over the top of the left. Find your breath, that 3-part breath. Inhale from the bottom to the middle to the top. Exhale with a soft sound. Relaxing the shoulders. Breathe deeply. You wish to keep your eyes open or close them. You decide. And then find your way slowly back. And again, bending the knees, give them a little hug. And for now, one more thing on our backs. Bring the feet back to where they were more or less when we were doing pelvic tilts, and guide the hands to reach for the opposite elbows above your throat. As the knees fall to one side, in this case, let's say it's the right side, the elbows move to the left, and the head can either move to the left or go in the direction of the knee, so it's up to you. So inhale, over to the other side. Exhale. So the head can go with the arms, or maybe the head goes the other way. Inhale to center, and exhale. In and out. And maybe a couple more times. And slowly release. And shake it out. Hug the knees, or make little circles with your ankles or your wrists, both. Or cracking and popping is always okay. Yeah. All right. Rolling onto our side and making our way to table pose. You take your time. If you're still lying on your back and you want to be there a little longer, that's fine. But eventually, if you join us here, take a moment to decide how you want your hands to be. So either on the palms or on the fists. Sometimes that feels like a nice variation. Or on the elbows. You're going to be here for a little bit, so make sure that you're comfortable. Also make sure that know that you can change at any point. All right. So knees hip width apart, elbows or hands shoulder width. I'm going to swivel here. So from a nice neutral spine where we have the abdominal muscles and the back muscles supporting us, move the hip over to the right and bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. So this is similar to what we did a couple minutes ago when we were on the floor, on our backs. Inhale, center, exhale. So that half moon, when we were lying flat on our back, was for the whole body, including the limbs. Now it's just the spine, side to side. Breathing in, the spine stays nice and neutral. Exhale, it stays neutral, but it flexes or moves to the side. In and out. Yeah. In. Nice. Find your way back to neutral. The knees can stay where they are, or they can come a little closer together. Reach back with the right leg. Press into the heel and feel the stretch in your calf. Gliding forward and gliding back. Breathe in. Breathe out. In and out. Good. Ease the foot lightly off the mat, maybe a centimeter or two, or maybe a little more. Assure that the hip for the start anyway is nice and level. Glide the shoulders away from the ears. So if you're on your palms, bend the elbows slightly. Try to pull your hands towards the back of your mat. If you're on your elbows, try to draw your elbows towards the back of the mat. So you're engaging the muscles in the mid-back. Okay. Look straight down. And then bending the right knee gradually. Look down at your thumbs. As an option, shift the weight to the right hand and let your left hand come to your hips. Or grab the foot. Okay, if the hand is on the hip and the foot is up, flex that ankle. And on the exhalation, lift that foot up so the right hip will be higher than the left. If you're holding on, same idea, except now you have a little connection here between the foot and the hand. Observe that the supporting elbow, if you're on your palm or your fist, is unlocked. There you go. Good. And then release, come on down, and step forward. And this step forward is to have the heel directly under the knee, and on the inhalation halfway back, exhale, lift your toes, and hang the head. Yeah, beautiful. Inhale halfway, exhale, knee and heel line up. Good. Breathing in. And out all the way to the end, and inhale. Knee and heel line up. Good. And slowly make your way forward. Let the hands or the fists or the elbows bear the weight. So if you're going to come onto your elbows, that's fine. Step back with the right foot. Knees down or knees up for plank. Modified or full plank. You can be on your elbows. That's a nice variation. Reach back with your heels. Breathing in. Breathe out fully. Breathe in. Breathe out fully. As an option here, a little bit of breath retention if you like. So inhale fully, hold the breath in. Keep holding the pose, hold the breath in. Exhale, hold empty, keep holding the pose. Hold empty, hold empty, hold empty, hold empty. Hold empty, breathe in. Exhale, lower the knees and child pose. Oh. Everything dissolves. Completely relaxed. And then prepare for the other side. So returning to table. And as I mentioned earlier, if your wrists are getting tired, if you want to do your fists instead, or your elbows, or you have some other variation that you'd like to try, that's fine. Reach back with the left leg. Feel the toes. A nice stretch at the bottom of the feet. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, gliding back. Yeah. Again and again. Stay with that as long as you wish. And when you're ready to move on, hover the foot. Glide the shoulders back, so actively using your hands or your fists or your elbows to draw the shoulder blades towards the tailbone, keeping the abdominal muscles engaged, and then slowly bend the left knee. Using your right hand to check that the hip is level, at least initially. A little bit of level here, and then either bring the hand to grab the foot or keep it where it is. You may also bring it back to the mat if you like. Okay. Or grab the foot. Breathe in, exhale, lift that toe, that foot towards the ceiling, and then down. Assuring that the knee is straight back rather than flaring out to your left. And breathe. How does this side feel compared to the other? Yeah. And then release. Come on down and step forward. If you like, you can use your hand to help that foot move forward a little more easily. Yeah. Hands on either side. Inhale halfway back. Exhale, lift your toes and hang the head. Inhale halfway. Exhale, knee and heel line up. Nice. Shoulders relaxed. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. In, breathing out. And the next time move forward, let the hands or the fists or the elbows take the weight. Step back, knees down. For some of us this may be just fine. Or curl your toes, unhover the knees. Letting the hips stay lower than the shoulders, pulling your hands towards your feet. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in fully and hold the breath in. Hold, hold, hold. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Keep holding the breath. And then exhale fully and hold. Completely empty. Empty, empty, empty. And slowly inhale. Come to child, to table, or to bent knee down dog, whatever you like. Take the next 5 or 6 breaths to explore whatever your body needs. Maybe it's more of a walking the dog. Relax the neck, relax the jaw. Feel the breath. If you're in down dog, make your way to child. If you're in child, maybe stay there a moment longer. And just a little bit more exploration from table. This time a little bit different in that we're not going to come up into a full down dog. We're coming up into a mini dog. What I mean by that is the toes curl, breathe in, and hover your knees just a centimeter off the mat. Just that. So the knees are 90 degrees, the hands are still pulling back, and breathe and hold. Just normal breaths. You may do this on your elbows. Breathe and hold. Just a little bit of a lift. Feel the stretch in your toes, Jaw relaxed. Sometimes it's nice to interlace the fingers to give us a little bit more stability to the forearms. And hold. See how easy it is to bring the knees higher. Just a centimeter or two off the mat. Centimeter or two. Elbows towards the knees. Or hands towards the knees. Deep breath. There you go. And then release. And relax. Slowly slide the hands towards you as your body comes up to kneeling pose. In preparation for the beginning of camel posture. So camel posture is a back extension. The most important beginning piece is the position of the knees, or the comfort of the knees. So if you like, you can fold your mat a couple of times and give yourself a little bit of extra padding if you don't have a blanket near you. Or just put on your mat. Toes pointed or curled, whatever you prefer. Hands come to the lower back for a bit of support and stability. And think of the tailbone right now as wanting to point down and then go underneath, as if the tailbone is now pointing to a space in front of you. Okay? So the tailbone tucks under, the whole pelvis tilts back, and with the hands supporting you. When that happens, now we can extend up through the crown and then slightly back. So this may be it. Okay? This may be plenty where we're looking ahead, maybe it's slightly up. For some of us, we may like the idea of going a little further. Keep that tailbone tucked under, that tilt in the pelvis, and then rather than just looking forward, let your whole body, as if the sternum had eyes, your heart has eyes. Those eyes are now looking at the corner of the wall, where the wall meet. The wall and the ceiling meet. Shoulders are down. Deep breaths. Always making sure that the alignment of the neck is the same angle as the sternum. So the space between the chin and the chest is constant. You may wish to go further, and that's fine, but this space stays the same. Okay. For those that can go a little further and want to, the hands can come to the upper thighs, or they land on the heels. And breathe. Notice the space at the front of your heart. Keep the tailbone tucked under, because that's what's going to prevent the excessive compression in the lower vertebra, the lumbar area. Lots of space. To release, begin by letting the chin drop, and that will immediately enable the spine to come back into a curve, into a high ragdoll. If you prefer, you can go into child, or stay in high ragdoll. So take the next 3 or 4 breaths to go wherever you like. Find your way slowly back up to kneeling. Step ahead with 1 foot. Hands to the knee. And step up. All right, we waited to standing. Yeah. So check in with how you're all doing. Yeah. And we spend our time, a little bit of time standing, so begin by acknowledging the mountain upon which you are standing. Right? Got the earth underneath you, and the floor, and then the mat, and so on. But there's this wonderful, stable foundation we call the earth that's always there to hold us. So just to make sure we have the right alignment for us, bring the heel of one of the feet, okay, to the arch. Pivot on the big toe mound, and that's your mountain width. Okay. Rocking front and back and left and right until there's a sense of equilibrium. Allow your shoulders to come down. And imagine if the pubic bone and the tailbone want to move towards each other a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So you want to maintain the curvature of the spine. So when I talk about bringing the pubic bone and tailbone, it's not about this. It's just a little internal narrowing, so to speak. Belly button is trying to reach the sternum. The chin is parallel and the arms rest by the sides. Yeah. Okay. So from here, similar to what we did at the very beginning, sun breaths. So inhale, let the arms reach out to the sides. Rotate. And up again. Good. Slowly down. Rotate. All the way down. Beautiful. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. I call this the Jerry Lynn Sun Salute. Dear friend from whom I learned this variation. Breathing in, breathing out. This time from the top. Exhale, hinging forward. All the way down. If you have any concern about high blood pressure, do not let your head go any lower than your hips and just hang a little higher. And then inhale, place your hands on the bent knees, lower your belly, lift the tailbone, glide the shoulders away, and look about 1 meter ahead of your toes, holding the breath in. So if you forgot to do that, or have neglected to mention it, take another nice deep breath in, and just hold the breath in this position. And then release. Soften the knees, inhale, the arms reach out to the sides, come all the way back up to standing. Exhale to your heart. Good. Breathing in, this time one full arm movement, one full breath. Exhale, as if there was a curtain in front of you, open that curtain, move into that space, go as low as is appropriate for you, empty completely, and then inhale with bent knees, place your hands on the lower thighs, lift the tailbone, drop the belly slightly, glide the shoulders away from the ears and hold the breath in. And release. Soft knees, inhale all the way back up. Exhale to your heart. Good. This time, begin at the front of your space. Wherever your mat is, just come to the front of it. Same beginning, hands down, breathing in all the way up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, either with straight legs or bent knees, whatever you prefer. If it's straight legs, hands are on the shins or on the floor, hold the breath in. Hold, 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 hold. Nice puppy tilt here. And exhale. Stay low. Hands come onto either side of the left foot. Step back with the right foot. Soften the jaw. Deep breaths. Bring your left hand on the inside of that left foot. And turning the back foot, turn, so now you're on the inner edge of it. Left hand supports you, or come up on the fingertips. You may also have the elbow on the knee instead. Lift the right arm, reach up towards the ceiling, and extend into warrior angle. Good. Drawing the feet towards each other. The back foot is trying to move to the front heel, the front heel is trying to move to the back foot. And breathe. You can have that left elbow on your left knee, if you prefer. Breathe. Nice. Ease that arm down. Come back up, one hand on the other side, and step up to the front of your mat. All the way up, inhale. Exhale to your heart. Shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes for a moment and just notice how this feels. Notice the warmth that's present in your body. Nice. Let's try the other side. The same idea. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward. Decide if you want to hold your breath in with straight legs and look that meter or two away, or hold the breath in with hands on lower thighs. Hold, hold, hold in. Hold full. And exhale. Bending both knees, step back now with the left foot. Yeah. Draw your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Or bring the right elbow to the right knee. Back foot turns, so now we're resting on the sole of it. Lift that left arm, reach up towards the ceiling, and either keep the arm there or extend the fingers in the same direction as the toes. And breathe. If the arm doesn't go that far, you can keep it up, or maybe even let it rest by your side instead of coming up at all, or bring it behind your waist. The crown and the heel are trying to move away from each other, the back heel, and the feet are trying to move towards each other. So really using the muscles of the inner thighs. Beautiful. And then release, come on down, and step up. Soft knees, inhale. Let the arms, instead of coming out to the side, sweep forward into standing squat. So feet again are hip width apart, gliding the shoulders away from the ears, and really feel the shoulders draw back and down. Gazing straight ahead, palms can be out, maybe curve them. Sometimes it's nice to just let the arms soften. Or you may wish to bring the hands behind you, drawing the knuckles down, creating more space at the front of your shoulders. And breathe. Yeah. Another variation for those of you that wish to explore this, let your arms come out more into goddess arms, or frame the head. For those that have any back concerns, sometimes this may be a little intense, so just pay close attention to your body. And then release, and come back to your heart. How are we doing? Yeah. Pay attention. Answer that question honestly as to how you're feeling. Okay. So now we move into half sun salutes. Did I say half sun salutes? I did, didn't I? Actually, we're going to move into half moon salutes. So half moon salutes are basically the same beginning as the sun salute, except we're going to the side. So inhaling up, or arms can stay by your sides. Exhale to your right, inhale to center, to your left. Okay, so that's basically the same movement that we did when we were doing a warm-up on the floor, and then again when we were in table. Yeah. And then come back to the middle for a moment. And this time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be on this side of your mat. Whatever that side happens. Just on the side of the mat. Okay. Inhale up. Here's our half moon to the right, or to one side, whatever side it is. Come back to center to the other side. Come back to center, breathe in. Exhale, step out into five-pointed star. Reaching through the fingertips, but keeping the shoulders relaxed. You may even find turning your palms up feels better. Good. Soften the jaw. Take your right foot and turn it out to the side. And just feel that stretch over to the right. And then come back. And the other foot. Left foot in, right foot in. And over to the other side. And then come back. So that's a little bit of warm-up of where we're going to go. But before we do that, come back to star and sink down into goddess. So in goddess pose, we have the toes out, the knees bending in the same direction as the toes. Elbows are lower than the shoulders. And the reason we don't have the elbows up here is because that requires a lot more upper trap work here from the shoulders. So let the elbows be down. There's lots of work happening down here too. Turning the palms towards you may also be a nice way to bask in your own energy here. Nice. And then inhale up. And here we go. Right foot out. Your right foot. Left heel away. And let that corresponding arm reach out, going as far as you comfortably can until there's this angle of the leg and the torso that's more or less the same. Once you reach that, lower the furthest arm and lift the other. Breathe in. On the exhalation, twist. So both hands come down over that right knee or right thigh, making sure this knee is unlocked. And slide the hands to either stay on the thigh or on the shin, not on the knee. Knees don't want anything on it. Or maybe down to the ankle, or perhaps even down to the floor. Turning the back foot in as much as you like, and breathe. And you may want to play a little bit with that right knee, maybe bend it a bit more, bend it a little less, as long as it doesn't lock. And then walk the hands to the middle, to the center, standing angle. Making little circles with the tailbone. Turning the toes out, Letting the pelvis slowly drop, come up halfway, inhale. Just halfway. Exhale, and then inhale the rest of the way, returning to goddess. Yeah. Ease back up to start. And then on the other side. So, foot goes out, back heel turns away. That's very important for the safety of that back knee. And locking that left one, reaching out as if that left hand were to go beyond the toes, and maybe it does. So there's a tilt, a little tilt. Doesn't mean that they're on one straight line. That back hip, in this case the right hip, can be slightly forward, okay, as long as it feels appropriate for you. And then from that angle that you've established with the leg and the torso, then lower the left arm, maybe lift the right, soften the jaw. Is that left knee unlocked? And the right answer to that question is yes. Unlock the knee. Yeah. Good. And then lower the upper shoulder and the upper arm. Pivot a little bit on the ball of the foot. Without locking the left knee, slide the hands over the thigh. And for some of us, we'll stay here, and that's fine. Or down to the shin, not on the knee, as I said earlier. Or perhaps to the ankle. Or maybe to the floor. Knees and lock until your left. Both knees, but especially the left. Let the head hang if that serves you. And again, as I said earlier, if you have any concern about too much pressure to your head, just keep your head a little higher and let your hands be up on your thigh rather than on the floor. Slowly walk your hands to the center. And again, standing angle. Around your fingertips or your palm. Walk those hands a little further forward, but keep the heels on the floor. Using now your left hand as, I'm doing mirror image here. So left hand presses firmly underneath the throat area on the fingertips or the palm or the fist, and the other hand gradually lifts up, reaches toward the ceiling, or wraps around the waist. So the base of support is directly underneath the throat. The spine is nice and long. And notice how easy it is to lock the knee. So again, the hip can drop slightly, but try not to lock the knee. So there's a little bit of a bend in both knees. And then come on back and switch on your fist or on your palm or fingertips or some other prop. Sometimes using a block can be helpful. And then let the other arm come up behind the waist or up towards the ceiling. Or maybe just rest on your glute. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Relax the jaw. Deep breaths. Let the ribs come around. And then come on down. Both arms down. We'll pause. Make circles with the tailbone. Draw the heels and the toes a little closer to each other. Walk the hands towards the feet. Ragdoll. Hands on the floor or on your thighs. Let the knees be slightly bent. And take at least 3 to 4 breaths to come to standing. So look at your mountain feet. Make sure they're at the right distance. And gradually hinge, for those of you that prefer that, hinge up or roll up. But take at least 4 or 5 breaths. The very last part of this to stack is the head. Yeah. So on our mountain, we're going to grow a tree. Or you can start off with a shrub or a little sapling. Slowly build your tree. Okay? All right. So beginning in prayer, whenever our palms come together in prayer position, it's a very calming, has a very calming effect on the nervous system. So just take a moment to really feel that warmth. Let the elbows drop, taking all the tension away from the jaw and the shoulders. Jaw soft. Yeah. So imagine that you have a mountain and you're standing on it, and here you go. You're a tree, you're going to grow slowly on it. So shifting the weight now to your left foot. Bending that knee slightly of your left leg. And let the right knee slowly come forward. And for a moment, the toes are down. And then gradually open up.
Now the standing hip may want to pop out. Try not to let it. So that standing hip stays in. Shoulders down, reach up to the crib. Yeah. Looking for a focal point straight ahead. And see if that foot wants to go any higher than the floor. So the most important aspect of this pose is the opening of the knee, however far that goes. So whether the foot is up or down, just opening the knee is beneficial for our lower back. You might like to come a little higher with the help of your hand. Keep that standing hip standing. And the hands can stay at your heart. Sometimes this is a nice centered place to be. Or let your arms come up. And they can come up into any variation of position. Maybe one arm came up but not the other. Maybe they both came up. Perhaps they came together. Or they didn't. Standing hip, stay standing. Reach up nice and tall. So you're this tree where the roots are grounded into your mountain, into the earth, and the rest of you is reaching up for the sun. Or the rain, depending on what's happening. And breathe. Good. Soften the jaw. And feel free to stay here. But if you'd like to go off on a little bit of a tangent, take your left hand, or the hand on the same side as the bent knee, and pick up the big toe. Let the other hand be out for balance. And then what if that leg were to extend? It's just an idea, which may or may not serve you. And then what if that same leg comes back and forward into crane? A little bit of flight. Pretend you're a crane, but you've just landed on the tree. Yeah. Or a blue heron. Just landed on the tree. And then that same leg that's up lands in front. And from the side, we're now in Stargazer. So both feet are straight. The distance between the feet is roughly the distance of a step. If you want to go a little further, some more challenge, that's fine. Tuck the tailbone underneath, just like we did with our camel. And then interlace the fingers. Draw them down. And reach up to the crown, keeping that distance between the chest and the chin constant, so the head doesn't fall back. When the head drops back, the cervical vertebrae don't like that. Too much compression. So that's why we want to look for length. Okay. Deep stretch for that right hip flexor. If you want to, well, in this case it's your left hip flexor. If you want to add a bit more depth to that, a little more stretch, take the arm on the same side as that back leg and lift it up with the thumb facing back. And the other hand just rests on your lower back or hands. Deep breath. And bending that forward leg, let the arms come out to the side. Reach back with the toes of your left foot. Reach way back, way back, way back, as the upper body slowly flies. Glide the shoulders down. Hips staying level. See if that back foot is prepared to come up with the hip staying level. Pressing into the heel. Looking straight down. Softening the jaw. Deep breaths. And then release. Come on back to mountain. Hands to the heart. And pause. We have two sides. So we get to do it again. All right. But just take a moment to rest between them. Maybe grab a drink of water. You happen to have some nearby. And then the other side. So, shifting the weight now to your right foot. Let the left leg lift. Bring it forward. It's like you're testing to see whether or not you can step on thin ice. Just kind of checking it out. Yeah, okay. Well, it looks like you can't. So lift the foot. That's it. And then open it. Maybe the foot stays down. Standing hip draws into the center, shoulders down. Foot remains or comes up, maybe with the help of the hand. Standing hip stays in. Rooted toes, soften the jaw. Do the hands want to come up? Are your branches ready to bud out a little higher? Or Do you prefer to stay a little longer? Eyes focused. We call that focal point of drishti, just something that our eyes and our mind can be focused on. Softening the jaw. Breathe deeply. Notice the breath. How is this tree different from the other tree that you created? Is it different? As an option, standing leg, maybe a little more bent just for balance. Reach down with a hand for the big toe. The other arm is up for balance. Eyes stay focused. And then very slowly, see if that leg is prepared to go out a little bit, a little more. Maybe even straighten out without locking the knee. Yeah. Or maybe it got there and then changed his mind. That's okay too. Slowly easing down and bring it forward into crane. Crane can have the foot on the ground. Or not. Letting yourself fly a little bit. A little flight. That's it. And then stepping ahead. For a stargazer, so the feet are straight. Hands ease behind. Yeah. Tailbone tucks underneath. Have a look. Make sure your feet are as straight as you think they are. Sometimes I think my feet are straight and they're actually out, especially my back one. So just be mindful of that. Tucking the tailbone underneath. Feel that tilt that then gives you permission and freedom to reach up to the crown and find your stargazer. This may be plenty. Or maybe release the arm that corresponds to the back leg. Lift the thumb facing the back of the space. The other arm anywhere you like. Sometimes on your belly can feel good too. Or maybe behind you. And breathe. Deep breaths. Jaw relaxed. And slowly release. The release this time is going to bring our hands to the front of our mat. And step back, all the way back, as we find our way onto our belly. Bending the elbows. Moving through plank, knees down or up. And hold halfway down. Hugging the ribs with your elbows, and then all the way down. And your hands under your chin. Maybe turn the head to the side and arc the feet. Yeah. Notice the contrast from being in standing position to now in our belly. Preparing for boat posture or canoe pose. Arms come to the sides, reaching back towards the feet. Feel your hips, your hip bones and your pubic bone press down, particularly the pubic bone, toes down. The feet are also quite close together here, they could touch. The crown reaches forward. And as the fingers reach towards the toes and the crown moves away, on the exhalation, pubic bone down, hover your face. Just a little bit of hovering, reaching back through the fingers, and then lower the head. Relax the hips, bending the knees, and arc the feet. You can turn the head to the side if you like. Good. This time the legs are going to come up. So begin the same way, resting on your chin or your forehead, or maybe keep your head to the side because it's going to stay down for now. Pubic bone down, breathing in, exhale, hover the feet and the kneecaps. So the head could turn or stay straight. Hold for 2 or 3 breaths. And then come on down. Again, turn the head to the side, bend the knees and arc the feet. Good. And this time I'm going to put it all together. So pubic bone down, crown forward, toes back, breathing in. Exhale, hover the feet and the kneecaps, and cover the face. Reach back to the fingers, jaw soft. Maybe close your eyes and really feel the back muscles working, the pubic bone pressing down, and the breath holding you. Deep breaths.
That's it. Crown forward, feet back. Breathing in, hold the breath in. Exhale, hold the breath out. Can the legs go a little higher? Can the head go a little higher? A little higher still? And a little higher still? Maybe the hands are floating off the ground too? And then melt back down. Bending the knees and arc the feet. Hands slide underneath the shoulders. Very gently press up and come up to child pose. Adjusting the knees. A little rocking of the hips from side to side. Gradually finding our way to seated once again. And let you tap in your legs and a couple of things seated before we go back onto our backs for relaxation. But just a couple more things if you like. So the first thing is posterior stretch. So from the side, the whole idea here is to really feel the grounding of the sitting bones, and for some of us that will feel better if our knees are a little bit bent, okay? Because it's important to keep the back in what we call neutral position rather than rounding underneath. You may also find it helpful to fold the back of your mat and actually sit on the edge just to provide a natural tilt. Do that with a blanket if you want next to you or a towel. So just take a moment to find whatever you need to make this comfortable. Okay? So regardless of where the knees are, whether they're supported and slightly bent or they're straight, we are trying to what we call dorsiflex the ankles. So we're trying to draw the toes towards the kneecaps. So really engaging the stretch in the back of the legs. Hands on either side. And actually for a moment, just bring your hands to your hips. Just to place them on that pelvic crest and see if you can give yourself a slightly longer waist. Yeah, so again, a neutral spine. Rather than here, we're nice and neutral. And then picture this hinge where the pelvis and the femur come together and you're literally just hinging forward. Not rounding, but hinging. So some of us will be quite high, and there's the hinge. And then slowly come back up. So exhale as you hinge forward at whatever angle works for you. And then inhale, come back. If you don't need your hands on your hips, you can have them beside you. And exhale. You may find that one leg is a little more willing to stretch, or maybe has more sensation than the other. And that's perfectly normal. Yeah. And then find what I call the sweet spot, the place where you can feel that there's a stretch. But you also know that you can hold this for a few breaths and know that it's a good thing. So it's a real good opportunity to listen to your body here. What angle can you sustain for a few breaths? Maintain the length of your back. And if you have your hands on the mat, you can actually pull back slightly like you're clawing the mat and giving yourself a little more length out of your waist. Yeah. So the goal here is not to reach the toes or to come forward. The goal here is to lengthen, to decompress the vertebra, particularly the lower lumbar area. And thoracic too. And then hinge back up. Lean back into the hands. Bring the knees up and free up the hips. Good. And then returning back up to seated, this time for a twist. So extending your left leg out and bring the right foot to the outside. This is a seated twist. I'm offering this with a straight lower leg, but some of you might like the idea of tucking the knee in, and that's okay as long as both sitting bones stay seated. So if you can do this with a seated
Both sitting bones on the ground, great. Otherwise, just extend the leg, okay? Because that's the most important piece, is the foundation of the pelvis. Reaching for that top knee, so if you're doing your left leg up, it's the right hand and vice versa. So in this case, it's your right knee is up. And from this perspective, we're trying to lift up through the sternum, so nice and tall. And then lift the opposite arm, so your right arm. And use your thumb as a guide for your eyes. So inhale tall, and then exhale, follow the thumb as you slowly twist, using the rib cage as a guide, and the hand as a guide. And then when you lose sight of your hand, and there's no longer any breath left, breathe in, pause, and then exhale, continue a little further until that hand lightly touches the space behind you or wraps around the waist. And once you're here, inhale tall, and as you exhale, can the ribs make their way around just a little bit more? Reach up to the crown, exhale a little further. Soften the jaw, deep breaths. Actively pressing into the heel for those of you that have the leg extended. Both sitting bones are deeply rooted into your mat. It's like you've got these permanent little prints that you're making on your mat. A little rotation of the neck as you look over the shoulder. And then the deeper we are in a posture, the more important it is to come out of it slowly. So inhale tall, lift the arm, make eye contact with it way back in the corner here. And then slowly follow it back. Unraveling the spine. Nice and slow. Yeah. Lean back into your hands. Let it go. Maybe even twist a little to the other side for a moment. Let's try the other side. So, we have a friend who's coming into the picture. That's great. Hello, Luna. Nice of you to visit. So decide if you'd like the lower leg to be straight or tucked underneath. Draw your hand to the knee, nice and tall. Feel that length, the waist nice and long. Reach up to the crown, and then lift the other arm. You gonna twist with me? Let's twist together. Okay, so inhale, and then exhale. Slowly follow the hand. Reach tall. Come around a little further. You can hug that knee either with a hand or maybe use a forearm or the elbow. Nice and tall. And just as you lose inside of your hand, let it slowly drop. And let the hand wrap around you or very lightly touch the mat. So we're not using it to support us. Okay, so inhale tall. Exhale, the ribs come around. Deep breaths. Stay tall. Jaw relaxed. And as you feel ready, ease slowly back up. All the way up. Maybe a little bit to the other side just to balance that out. And cross. And shake it out. Making our way onto our back. Let your knees be drawn towards you. And your head land. Maybe close your eyes and notice how you feel now compared to quite a while ago when we did this. So just notice how the body is accepting and feeling on the mat. Yeah. And for the next couple of minutes, go anywhere you'd like. What would feel really good for you right now? Yeah. Make any sounds you like, any yawns. Maybe coming into a lying down twist, or perhaps into an inversion, or just slide your hands under your hips and let the legs come up. So what would work for you for the next several minutes to complete your practice? Yeah. What posture calls to you? having efforted, having moved a myriad of muscle groups. Is there one or two that hasn't quite been acknowledged as it would want? Breathing into whatever movement you've chosen. Paying close attention to the internal compass that each one of us has. What direction does your compass want you to go? So as I guide you into relaxation posture, feel free to follow my words or to let them just be a background sound. Now I'll guide you for the initial part of the relaxation, and then I will simply let silence be. And after several minutes, you'll hear a little chime or a little singing bowl that will sound like this. And when you hear that, that's the invitation to either follow once again my instructions to slowly come out of your relaxation posture, or to continue on a little longer and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So begin by feeling the floor below you, by allowing it to truly hold you, where there is nothing that needs to happen right now. There's nothing that needs to be efforted. So beginning with your legs, particularly with your feet, allow both of your feet to be heavy, relaxed and heavy. Feel the space between the toes. Feel the space between the toes and the ankles. Can the ankles be a little heavier? Feel the space between the ankles and the knees, the calves, the shins. Can that space be a little heavier, a little more relaxed? Notice the space between the knees and the hips, the thighs, the muscles, the thigh bones. On the next exhalation, can they be a little more relaxed? A little heavier. Notice the space between the right hip and the left hip. On the next exhalation, can both hips be a little more relaxed and a little heavier? Bring your attention to your hands. Notice the space between the fingers as the hands rest, whether they're on your belly or beside you or in your heart Let the hands relax. The only right position for your hands is the position that feels right for you. Feel the space between the fingers and the wrists. Let that space relax. Notice the space between the wrists and the elbows. The bones of the forearm, the muscles of the forearm, relaxed. Notice the space between the elbows and the shoulders. The triceps, the biceps, the humerus, the upper arm bone. Relaxed and heavy. Notice the space between the shoulders, the right shoulder and the left shoulder. Softening that space. Notice the space between the tailbone and the base of the skull. Each individual vertebra completely supported. Completely relaxed. Notice the space between the upper teeth and the lower teeth. Relax that space. The space between the right ear and the left ear. The space between the back of your head and your face. Relax the head. Relax the whole space between the toes and the crown and the fingers. Relax the space. Healing, relax the space. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. In and out of this relaxed space. wish to continue to rest, feel free to do so. If you're ready to move into the next phase of this day, begin to deepen the breath. Releasing that breath with an audible sound. Welcoming movement, loving, caring movement into fingers and toes. Allowing the head to roll gently from side to side. And then come into a stretch. Whatever stretch feels good. Luna. Roll onto your favorite side for a few moments. Let that be a transition from being on your back to sitting. When it feels appropriate, find your way back up to seated. And notice how you feel now compared to when you chose to land on your mat. Light is eternal, O soul of the cosmos. Fill us in light the darkness of night. Go thou with us through all of life's journeys, and make us one in thy light. Allow your arms to slowly float above you. Bring your hands together at the top, and with the sound of Om, bring them to your heart. Jai Bhagwan.
Jai Bhagwan.
May each of our lights shine on our world. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah. Till next time.